All right, so joining us today for our Quiz 4 review is the wonderful Michael Scott from Dunder Mifflin. If you guys aren't fans of The Office, it's okay. It's a great show. It's one of my go-to shows I like to watch every once in a while. All right, so I'm going to review for Quiz 4. All right, Quiz 4 is going to be on trig graphs only. There's not going to be anything else on there. So you need to know all the key concepts of your trig graphs. So let me just go through some of that stuff with you real quick. All right, you're going to need to be making sure you know all about your A, B, and your C values, whether it's a sine here or a cosine here. It could be one or the other. So let's go through those real quick. Remember, we have the amplitude. You'll see that word on your quiz. Amplitude's the A value. That's the stretch on the graph. You have frequency, which we learned in lesson 20. Frequency is the B value. Tells you how many cycles you're going to see of that graph between 0 and 2 pi. Your C value is called your midline. That's where the graph gets shifted up or down to, all right, midline. And then from the frequency, we can get the graph's period, all right? Period, remember there's a formula for that. It's 2 pi over B, and B, of course, is the frequency. This is your A, and this is your C. So those are the key concepts you need to make sure you got your head wrapped around. And I'm going to go through a trig graph with you right now where I throw in an A, a B, and a C value and put it all together into one graph. Before I do that, we interrupt this review to bring you this. I hope you enjoyed the rabbits eating lettuce. Did you notice how they kind of fight over it? And the black rabbit, Shadow, is the boss, and she usually bullies poor Ginger around. All right, anyways, here is the one example that I'm going to do just to go through everything. I'm going to ask you to graph -2 cosine 2x minus 1 from 0 to 2 pi. So I'm throwing everything at you. I'm giving you an A value. I'm giving you a negative, which will reflect it. I'm giving you a B value, and I'm giving you a C value. And I want you to graph it from 0 to 2 pi. All right? If you want to pause the video and try this on your own, you can. If not, you can just follow along as I do it, but I'm going to go ahead and go through it. So to do this, the first thing we want to do, hang on, got to pause the video, just got an alert that Copper just left the yard. Oh my goodness. All right, I'm back. So this is turning into quite the review adventure here. By the way, that is the third time that he has escaped the yard in 2 days. So Beagle 3, Mr. Griska 0. Killing me. All right, so going to go through this. First thing you want to do is get a cosine put on here. Just to have regular cosine. Remember cosine, well, before we get cosine on there, let's get the frequency established here. So we have a frequency of 2, so we can get the period of the graph. And period's found by doing 2 pi over your B value, your frequency. So it's going to be 2 pi over 2, which is just going to be pi. So we know that this graph is supposed to get through one cycle by the time it gets to pi. Remember, one complete cycle of cosine looks like this. Starts up high and finishes high. That's one cycle of cosine. So I need to get through one cycle by the time I get to pi. I should be through 2 cycles by the time I get to 2 pi. Now, I'm not going to do anything with the amplitude, the reflection, or the shift yet. I'm just going to get cosine in here with a period of pi. So for now, we're going to stay up here at 1. Cosine is going to come down to -1 and go back up and finish at 1. Now remember, I told you if you're going to be doing this, you want to do it in pencil because we're going to erase this. It's not going to stay like this. All right, then we have one more cycle right there. So there is what it would look like if it was just cosine 2x. But it's not just cosine 2x. There's more to the story. So I'm going to go ahead and work left to right for the rest of it like I have been before. I'm going to start with the reflection. So this negative means I got to reflect it over the x-axis. So in blue, this graph is now going to look like this. And that is now reflected, and I'm going to erase the red. All right. Okay, now I'm going to do my stretch of 2. So to do that, I'm going to switch to black and stretch this graph down to 2 and up to 2. Remember, these points remain fixed right here on the x-axis. So this will be down to -2. This will be up to 2. Kind of already is a little high there. These really are a little high. I'm sketching, sorry. And then -2 down here. So this graph will now be stretched up to 2 and down to -2 and look like that. So now I can get rid of the blue. Goodbye, blue graph. So I have one thing left to do. I've reflected it, I've stretched it, I've taken care of the period and the frequency piece of it. I just need to now shift the whole graph down 1 unit because the midline is now -1. Let me get one more color here. Let's try this tannish color here, I guess. All right, so my new midline is going to be down here at -1, so it's going to be right here. So this whole graph is going to shift down 1 unit. So every point needs to slide down 1. So this point's going to slide to here. This will be here. This will now be here. This will be here. This will be down here. 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 And here. Okay, so now I'm ready to sketch in my final answer here. That looks good. Just making sure I'm on right there. I'm doing okay. Not bad. Not bad for just a sketch with no graph paper. Get rid of the black. And if you tried this on your own, this is what you should have gotten. So once again, we have a stretch of 2, we have a reflection, we have a frequency of 2, which meant our period was pi. That's why we've got 2 cycles showing up here. They're upside down cycles now. And we have our shift of -1. Remember that you can check these on your calculator. Make sure your calculator's in radian mode. Put those window settings in that I went over with you. I can't remember, I think it was like lesson 17 or so. And you can adjust your window accordingly. Now, if you want to make your window just 0 to 2 pi instead of -2 pi to 2 pi, you can, so that you're seeing just this portion of the graph. Or you can leave it and just look at this portion of the graph. It's up to you. All right. So, quiz Tuesday. This is actually Friday right now that I'm filming this, but I'll post this to be due on Monday, so you can go over this Monday. Try this practice problem. Then let me know if you have any questions, and I will post the quiz probably Monday afternoon, and it's due Tuesday. I don't know the exact format of the quiz yet. I don't know if it's going to be all multiple choice or some short answer. I haven't gotten into all that yet. I started working on it, but you'll see it come out on Monday sometime. All right? Have a good weekend because today is Friday.